was one of the few people that supported him through that. He shouldn't talk crazy about someone who helped him, who supported him during that time. Are you saying that Shannon Sharpe is Ray Lewis? No more friends. This is crazy, man. Ray Lewis went to the PBD podcast and shared his opinion on how Shannon is doing these days. Fair use.
Shannon Sharpe, did you think he was one day going to be a good TV guy personality?
Yeah.
So you knew he was made for TV?
Yeah.
And would he say he's going to do it?
Yes, he had already started prep.
How much before he retired did he
He'd been started.
Oh, so he's known he's going to be doing that.
Yeah.
So you're not surprised by the success he's having with his podcast and TV and him and Skip and Stephen A, all that stuff?
No, I'm not surprised. I'm shocked at his content. I wouldn't, in a million years, the things that Shannon has said now or did now, I would never believe that Shannon will say or do any of this.
Like what?
Simply, I take drinking. Shannon, in my entire career, I've never saw Shannon with a drink. Ever. Like it was against the law, right? Because he had some stuff in his family that he didn't want to follow that. And then so I kind of started to watch him, and then we kind of went our own separate ways because I'm like, you're going to take that route. I can't go that route. Never can go that route. And that route is to become so worldly that you become popular because you're talking about ignorance, right? A lot of times, a lot of these gossip conversations that they're having and bringing up all this stuff, I'm not going to do that to nobody. I'm not in the business for that. I'm in life to try to teach people what does it mean to be a better man or get back to the kingdom, And a lot of times, a lot of the guys get in trouble with these podcasts and things, man, because everybody wants to follow her. Everybody wants to be popular. Everybody wants to make money. But that's a tight rope into what you call influence and popularity. Like the devil has the ability to make you popular. God has the ability to give you influence that when people see you, they see an image of him. And that's the thing for me that started to switch with not just Shannon, but just a couple of people. I'm like, wow, you would switch out like that? Really? And I would never, ever. Why? Because of the respect that I have for my mother, my daughters, my granddaughters, life, period. And I think men, given these new platforms, we've overrode what the platform is actually for. The platform is supposed to help somebody find a new direction. We don't help. Everybody just gets on. Like everybody's talking now. Everybody got a podcast. Everybody's the new marriage coach. Everybody's the new relationship coach. And ain't nobody coaching themselves. Because if you were coaching yourself, when it says power of life and death is found in the tongue, then go back and check out a couple of episodes and ask yourself, do you give life or do you give death? And that's why, me personally, I kind of do my own thing, stay in my own lane.
I'm gonna take a look at what Shannon had to say about that, but before we go to that, RJ.
Yeah, that was a pretty to me like a shocking comment. And when he said it, I was like, hey, but you're right. Here's a guy who brushes his teeth 8 times a day, who walks out the house and goes to the guest house to, if he has to do a number 2, because he doesn't want to do it in the room with if there's a female companion there. A guy that doesn't step in the elevator where there's a woman in it, if it's just the two of them, only in bed. And a man with all these rules, all of these rules, KaiR. And if you don't You talk about drinking. Guy that talks about discipline, right? He's a very disciplined.
Yeah.
Now, you can argue that it's something. It's his past life. And because it's his past life, you know, he was because he still trains, he still works out. It's clear. I mean, dude is a monster. But you cannot, and you can argue that hey, he did it, and now he's still doing it. But now he can afford a drink because he is
Retired.
yeah. So you can argue that, but I just think it's
But people are saying Shannon was his friend all this time when he had his situation, and we know the deletion situation. Shannon was one of the few people that supported him through that. He shouldn't talk crazy about someone who helped him, who supported him during that time. Are you saying that? Or should you be as a friend critical towards someone who you respect or respected, and try to give him a mirror to look into?
I think you can change your mind, but you run the risk of being labeled as a hypocrite, or you know, someone who lets another person down when he's in trouble. So that's the thing. But I don't think that because someone did something for you, ever you owe that person for life. You know, I do think that you should, let's say, what he could have done was not say something in public. You know, so he could have not agreed, but to go in, that would be like a next step. But I don't think that you are that you have to stay loyal to someone because everything is conditional. You know, if a drug dealer helps you with a flat tire, that doesn't mean that you would need to push anything for him.
Support the community. He's helping the community.
Yeah.
He's giving turkeys. RJ, he's giving turkeys.
Yeah.
It's the turkey scheme.
Yeah. So I think so. That's what I think, right? I think it's.
So you think it's okay for him as a friend to be critical towards his friend as well in the open?
I think it's okay to be critical. What I'm saying is, if that person was really there for you when you were really down, then I would not have been expressed my opinion publicly, knowing who I am, knowing first and foremost who I am. Secondly, where I am. So who I am. That's the first one. Second of all, where I am. PVD podcast. You know, it's a podcast that's big. It goes multiple clips go viral a week. So I mean,
yeah.
And I wouldn't do that in that situation. But it's two separate things. Loyalty in the sense that, hey, I can't follow you if that's clearly against my beliefs, what you're doing, then I can't follow you. But I don't think that gives me the reason to go on the platform and you know, talk.
Do you think he was harsh?
I don't think he was harsh. I think he was just telling the truth. I think he was just saying what he felt. Listen, I don't think it's the worst thing to say. I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, though. I think he was trying to. Patrick asked him a question, and he was basically answering it, and he was giving his perspective.
Yeah,
he was pointing out maybe things that he didn't agree with. Maybe he did talk to Shannon. Well, I don't think he did, because the way he phrased the sentence, it didn't look like he actually talked about this whole situation. But you want to say something?
Yeah, one thing I think he also had to take into account, because he was referring mostly to his content.
Yeah.
Right? I think that if he was just talking about his content, it wouldn't have been like a big deal. I think what we have to remember is that Shannon just settled in a court case. And another person accused him. So you also have those. So that background, against that background, if you're going to criticize someone, you know, people might not because he was talking about the content, but people might associate it with Shannon's life, and what he was doing.
Yeah.
And I
But
just think that
he was threading both, right? Content and character.
he's
What he
talking
was
about
saying, it
drinking
seems
as
like
well.
drinking as
you're
well.
right.
Yeah. So basically, he's changing. I think. So I understand both sides, and after this, we're gonna take a look at what Shannon had to say. I understand both sides. Someone who supported you, you can be during. I mean, that situation was crazy, by the way, with the deletion that happened early 2000s. They were hammering on Ray back then. Came out, so that's okay. At the same time, I think sometimes you have to discuss these things in private, talk about it, and leave it be. Another way is talk about it, and someone, let's say, he scolds you in private, you go in the open in a situation like that and just talk about what you feel. I don't think he was really harsh. He was just critical towards a friend. Sometimes you have to have friends that tell you the truth. I knew you back then. You were anti-drinking. Now you're promoting drinking towards people.
And he has
So
his
what
own
you
drink,
were-
right? He has his
yeah.
own drink.
Yeah, even worse.
Yeah.
Back then, you said, I don't drink because my family had drinking problems. People were getting uppercutted because there was drinking in the family. Now you're promoting drinks towards people that can end up in the same situation you was. I think that's what he's trying to point out to, which is fair to say. I mean, if you're anti something and then you let's call it, for a lack of a better, you sell out to that same thing because you want to make a buck or two, shows that you are someone who's willing to do a lot of stuff for money and not standing on principle. I think that's what he's trying to say.